I want to show you guys the 20 play pivot, not only a win, but a loss. Now, I know a lot of educational videos on YouTube only are going to highlight winners. They're only going to highlight the winning trades. But truth be told, if you've been in these markets for longer than a day, you know that no system, no strategy wins 100% of the time. As much as we would all love to win every single trade that we take because we think we are some genius when it comes to technical analysis or strategy, we're not. Okay, quite frankly, it's the truth. We're not. Now, there's ways where you can adjust. There's ways where you can manage risk to where you don't take a lot of pain on your losses so that you can stay in survival mode and stay trading these markets. What we're looking at here on the left hand side of the screen is just my big macro gauge for the day-to-days using my big chart. A lot of the people inside of Evolution Traders in the community, they know what the big chart is. That's the 1 hour chart. We're going to focus on the right hand side of the chart. Okay, so we're going to focus all on this side. And what we're going to focus on is the 20 play pivot. Okay, so many of you guys are familiar with the 20 SMA play. Those of you guys who are familiar with the 20 play, you're going to see here that right off the market open. Now, again, some of us in Evolution Traders, myself included, we took this short position. It was a beautiful short position. Again, I treat almost 80% of my trades as a scalp. For me, scalping on the NASDAQ, taking anywhere between 3 points, 5 points, 10 points. What I like to say is if you're taking less than 10 points on any potential setup on the NASDAQ, you're pretty much scalping. If you're taking over 20, 30, 40 points, you're more of a trend trader. You're going to play maybe a little bit smaller size. You're going to have a bigger stop loss. You're going to ride that momentum, ride those trends. I take those type of trades. I'm not very good at them. Not that I'm not good at identifying them. I'm just not good at having the patience to hold through them. I can catch a, today actually on the call, we did like a 45 point trade to the long side. Was I trading any size worth a hoot? Absolutely not. Only had a few micros on the table there for that 45 point bounce towards the later half of the day. But it is what it is, right? I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. It's a cup of coffee. Let's cover this the winning trade and let's cover the losing trade. So right off the open, we get the closure below the 20 period moving average. This is our pivot. This is our reason why candle. You can also see that we're closing right here at a very, very significant area of demand on a 5-minute time frame. That's the 200-day moving average, the 200 SMA. Right here, 9:35 Eastern, we confirm and we push down about 50 points. Now, I only took just under 10 points on this move. However, I did take it on one mini contract where I picked up close to $200 on this trade. For 10 minutes worth of work, 5 minutes worth of work, and actually a minute or less in the actual trade, $200 is fantastic. I will take that 5 days out of 5 days. Okay. I will take that 30 days out of 30 days. If I could just do that for the rest of my life, I would be completely content. But again, we know that's not going to happen. We're going to have failures and losses along the way. But what I want to show you guys is that's the winner. It's easy to show the winners. Okay. It's easy to hindsight. It's easy to backtest. It's easy to go through and look at the winners. Let me show you guys the loser. And this is going to get a lot of people. Now, I would say my room in Evolution Traders, it was 50-50. Actually, I would say this. It was 70-20-10. 70% of traders did not take this trade. 20% of traders took this trade and lost, and 10% of traders took this trade and won. What do I mean by that? As soon as we closed below this 20 period moving average and we started pushing down, we immediately had a 70-point candle bounce. Now, this 70-point candle bounce here at 940 also set up a reason why pivot candle long over the 20 SMA, giving you an indicator to go long on this trade. Immediately when we were pushing up into this 20 SMA, I told everyone on Discord, I'm not comfortable with this move. It's in the middle of the range. I'm going to let it go. Why? Here's the reason why I wanted to let it go. If you look at the high where we opened up at, and you look at the drop where that initial move flushed to, and you look at this setup, and you look at where the 20 SMA was sitting at, we are dead smack in the middle of a range. I do not want to take a trade coming off of a push higher, coming off of a push lower that pushes right back into the middle of the range. This could have easily exploded to the top side and paid out very, very well, or it could have did what it did and come all the way crashing back down. Here's one thing that you guys are going to pick up, especially if you guys are gold members and you guys got that course that I gave to all of you guys access to for being gold members. Again, if you guys would like to see the course that I put all my strategies in, that's in the description box below. But this blue moving average here, you guys know what that is, okay? You guys know that what that 10 SMA means. We were right below that 10 SMA still. So the push down just pushed right back into what, guys? Pushed right back into supply. So a little hesitation here to want to go long, right? And we are trading below the previous swing high. So we're putting in a lower high here, okay? Now, everyone who got into this trade, let's say you put on 20 points of risk, 15 points of risk, and you were looking for 15, 20 points. Guess what happens? You got wicked in, it immediately pulled back, you got stopped out within less than 5 minutes. Did you do anything wrong in the trade? No. Was it an active 20 SMA pivot long? Yes. Is there things that maybe we can do differently? Sure. Maybe when the candle is over 50 points, over 40 points, the reason why I'm talking about over 50 points, 60 points, 70 points, like in this particular situation, maybe we tell ourselves we've got to think scalp. Maybe we tell ourselves, I'll rather wait until the high of day gets broken to see if we're going to have actual momentum to the upside, or I don't trade it at all. Okay, so you have a couple of options there that you can do. Now again, the traders that made money on this trade were traders who got in for a quick scalp. 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, they got in, they got out. Because why? This high on the reason why candle, the pivot was sitting at 21,769. It pushed up to 21,787. So it definitely goes up over 15 points very quickly, like in the blink of an eye quickly. So if you didn't have an ATM, you didn't have a bracket set in there where when you clicked, to get into this trade, where you were going to automatically be filled for profit at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points, more than likely it wicked right back down and didn't really give you a next attempt to kind of get back out of that trade. It just stopped you out. So for the trader who lost on this trade, did you do anything wrong? Absolutely not. The only thing that I would recommend is when you see a reason why candle and it's over 50 points worth of range, 2 things. Think scalp, where you're going to take 3, 4, 5 points if you're going to take the trade, or don't take the trade at all. Okay, just tell yourself it's too much risk for me. I can't, it's not going to fall in line with my rules. It's not going to fall in line with my system, and just wait for something else. Because literally the next 5-minute candle set up and you could have taken this short, which happened to also be the last time we attempted to backtest this high of day. And this candle here was only a 33-point range. So I'm more inclined to want to take a trade using, 33 points as a stop. Again, it did wick over that reason why candle, but guys, I never get out of a wick out, only candle closures. And yes, will I give up more money sometimes than the 33 points initially? Yes, because I will wait for it to close over my reason why candle. If that happens to be 35 points, fine. If it happens to be 40 points, fine. But I'm going to enter into a position with size that's not going to destroy me. If I was to risk 40 points on this candle here for this short, that's $80 for every micro traded. If I trade 2 micros, it's $160. But guess what? I'm going to try to target at least a 1-to-1 to the downside. These are the trades where you want to target a 1-to-1 to the downside. It's not trades like this with the 60, 70, 80 point range. It's so hard to get 60, 70, 80 points. It's a lot easier to pick up 30 points. It's a lot easier to pick up 20 points. You could also scalp it as well. Again, just because it's a smaller ranged candle, this short here at 9:45 Eastern, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to hold it for 30 points. You could definitely still get in here and get your 5-10 points on a scalp, but it would be more of a setup for someone who likes to try to target those 1-to-1s to wait for candles that are 20 points, 25 points, 30 points. You really don't want to be looking for 1-to-1s on candles that are like 70, 80 points. It just doesn't make any sense. You can still participate in that party. Just make sure you treat it as a scalp. Sub 10 points. Get in, get out. And I would not be risking 75 points to pick up 5 or 10 points. I'm going to risk probably something like 10 or 15 points. to be honest. If I can't get a quick 5 or 10 points before it stops me out for 10 or 15 points, I'm out of the trade. Okay, I'm out of the trade. You know, let's say I get in a little late. I get in a little late to the party and it does shoot up. And then next, you know, it's pulling back. Uh-oh, what do? It closed underneath my 10-day moving average. I'm out. Okay, I'm out. I'll just take the loss. It's not going to be a 70-point loss. I'm going to tell you that much right now. You got to be an adjuster in this game. You got to be able to make adjustments on the fly. If you can't make adjustments on the fly and you can't use a little bit of common sense and you can't use a little bit of basic math, again, I'm not saying we need to pull out calculus and algebra and go through, you know, trigonometry or anything like that. Just a little bit of addition and subtraction, a little bit of multiplication. That's all we need. You know, what is the reason why candle? Oh shit, it's 75 points. I already know it's going to be a $150 loss if I'm trading one micro. That's too much risk for me. Trade goes to the trash. I'm not going to even take it. Or shit, this reason why candle is 75 points. Okay, I got to think scalp. I'm going to give myself 10 or 15 points worth of stop, and I'm going to look for 5 or 10 points on the upside. Just boom, quick. Little cash flow grab there. But the winning trade, it just essentially, as soon as you got into it short, it just won. And it went down about 40, 50 points. So again, you know, you could have taken your 5 to 10. You could have also taken close to a 1-to-1 on it. The reason why candle was 58 points. Again, that's a little bit more than I would like to risk on a 1-to-1. Okay, so maybe give myself 25, 30 points on this, trade a couple of micros, and then look to pick up 20, 30 points on it, right? So it could have been a $100 trade here for someone even trading micros, right? Again, there was multiple setups in the day. The range today was very big. It was very big and it was very deep. You know, at some point in times of the day, we were getting 100.5 minute candles. You're seeing a 100-point candle here. This one here was a 64-point candle. Today was by no stretch of the means an easy day to trade if you were scalping, because a lot of times you were getting wicked in and it's pulling back 20 points and then still going in your favor. Guys, there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot control the price action. I always get this question a lot. I took everything the right way. I followed my strategy. I followed my risk rules and the trade still lost. What can I do not to lose? Nothing. It's part of the game. If you can't accept that, you're gonna have a tough road here, because you know you have to have a very short-term memory in this business. Very short-term memory. We can't celebrate the wins for too long and get over hyped up and think that we're the world's greatest trader, because guess what? 2-3 trades down the road, you're gonna get smacked with the loss. And the same thing with the losers. You lose a trade here, lose a trade there. We can't overthink it and start trying to analyze it during the market hours. Why did I lose? What could I do differently? Oh my gosh. And you're just figuring out what's going on in the market. Do that after the market closes, guys. That's why your back testing and your chart time outside of market hours is so important, because that's when you do that kind of stuff. You don't sit there and analyze what the hell went wrong in the day. You already have a trade plan. You already have strategies. See a setup, fire the execution, win or loss, move on. See the setup, fire the execution, win or lose, move on. Respect your daily loss limit. Respect your weekly loss limit. Move on. Respect your daily profit goal. Move on. We need to survive one day at a time. Let's win today. Let's win tomorrow. We win today, we win tomorrow, we win the next day, we win the week. We can have one losing day. We can have 2 losing days in a week. As long as we manage that risk, we're going to win the week. Guess what? We win enough weeks, we're going to win the month. Guess what? We win enough months, we're going to win the quarter. Hello, we win enough quarters, you guys know what's coming. We win the year. So again, it's all about longevity in this business. Short-term memory, execute, manage risk. Short-term memory. Execute, manage risk, short-term memory. Why the hell do I repeat myself so much? Because traders make the same mistakes every single day. In 99% of the time, you already know the mistakes that you're making, but you still make them. Why do you do that? Ask yourself the question. If you need additional help, for example, hello, I'll raise my hand. We all have looked on the internet how to lift weights, how to lose weight, how to get in better shape, how to eat better, how to perform this exercise so my waist gets trimmer. How do I perform this exercise so my biceps get bigger? How do I perform this exercise to do XYZ, right? We've all done that type of stuff. Guess what? All the information's out there for free. You know it. Why don't you do it? Why do people go to the gym and hire a personal trainer? You know why? Accountability. You got to show up. You have to put in the work, but you need to be held accountable. You have to show up, You have to put in the work, but let me show you proper form. If you need that, that's when you join a community. That's when you buy a trading course. That's when you go down to the bookstore or Amazon. There's no real bookstores anymore. Go to Amazon and buy that trading book on psychology or mindset or on candlestick patterns or on whatever, supply and demand. Whatever it is, that's when you go out and you get that additional help. Sometimes people need the additional help. That's why, guys, if you need that additional help, come in the room. I've got about 50 active traders on a day in and day out basis. Very small, tight-knit community. We're all trading around the same way. Not necessarily all the same strategies, but around the same way, around the same processes, around the same levels. Because you know what? I'm looking at the same chart you're looking at. You can dress it up and paint it up however you want, and I can do the same. And guess what? At the end of the day, the price is still going to finish at the same price. So if you need that additional help, that link is down in the description box below. If you guys need to reset your Apex accounts or buy new Apex accounts, do so. If you guys need to go with another firm and get more accounts so you can continue to do this, do so. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section your P&L, guys. Were you positive or were you negative? And what was that dollar amount number? Again, it's not to show off. It's not to boast. It's to hold accountability. If you're red, post it. I was red today. This is the mistake I'm going to fix tomorrow. I want to hear what the mistake is you're going to fix tomorrow down in the comment section below. That's how I know that you're a true community subscriber and that how you're part of the gang, right? If you watch this video all the way to the end, please do me a favor. What rule did you break today? What rule are you going to fix tomorrow? What are you going to implement tomorrow? Leave that in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next video.